wasn't more scary, but it was definitely, there's no rules. When you're on a trading floor, there's rules, which is, sell high, buy low kind of thing. But in stand-up, I remember a gig in Edinburgh in the afternoon at 2:30. There was a husband, wife, and their furious teenager. And that was it. And if I did well at this gig, the promoter would book me for longer gigs in London. So there was a lot at stake. Now, there's no rules to that. 3 people. And this kid hated her parents. And she hated me for making her sit through this with her parents. I did get the mother to smile, I think, for about 5 or 6 seconds in the 15 minutes that I did. So, yeah, that was much more challenging. But I loved it more than I loved finance. So
right.
It made it worth it.
Fair.
Absolutely. Well, look, the rest, as I say, is history, because for over a decade, Sindhu has been making audiences laugh all over the world, often inspired with...
Now that your kids are getting older, do they still appreciate being in your material? How has that relationship changed, or has it?
Oh, they absolutely hate it now that they're older and they have...
Because you're brutally honest.
Well, yeah, I mean, one of them was saying something to me about consent the other day, and I was like, what? Go and do your homework. They don't like it, but then again, I've told them I keep it very vague. Like, if I really told the world what you would like, you'd have no friends, for a start. But I keep it vague, and I don't really talk about their genders or their ages as such. And to be fair, things I say, rooms full of people laugh because I think they're very generic to parenting. I mean, no one with a young child thinks they're interesting. You love them, but come on. So, yeah, so they don't like it much, but they're also used to it, and they kind of move on from it. If there's something very specific I want to talk about, I might ask them. It hasn't happened yet, but who knows?
Well, Mama's back on the road officially.
Yes.
It's your first UK stand-up tour in about 5 years, and in that time, you've had to deal with a lot of life changes, haven't you?
Yes, I have. So, first of all, I just want to say I'm delighted to be going back on tour in the UK. I am very much a UK comedian, even though I'm born and raised in India, and so excited. Also, it helps me get around to all these cities in the UK, which I wouldn't otherwise go to. My mother and then my sister and then my father all passed away in a very short period of time, in 2.5 years, in the last 5 years. And so I guess the big difference now is that as a comedian, when I'm on stage, I am sort of by myself. I used to talk a lot about my parents. And in my last show, I talked a lot about my sister. In a way, I was the youngest, so I've grown up overnight by losing, the 3 of them. And in a way, I've come out from behind them to sort of share in this show more of what's just in my mind, which might be scary for audiences. I don't know. We'll find out. But yeah, it's made me feel more exposed. But also, I've had to work harder and write the jokes that are more about me and how I think. And I can always hear my mother's voice in my head saying, that's not very funny, come with something better. So then that helps me rewrite. But yeah, that's been a very big change. It's really changed my sense of being in the world. Yeah.
The show is called Swanky for a very, very particular reason.
Yeah, so the show is a lot about getting older. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thanks very much.
Getting older and how it feels to get older, especially, I think, being a woman, because there's a lot of talk about aging and being female and so on. Nothing you have to worry about just yet, but it'll come. So, yeah.
Look forward to that.
and this is the thing about the show. You should, because there's so many things that are better, especially because you just don't care that much anymore. So you really say what you want. But I feel like as I'm getting older, there's a certain freshness about this stage in life, and I've become more confident. And so the way I dress, the way I think about myself, it's all just got more edge. And I was thinking, what's the word? And of course, the word that came to me was because my father was a very big fan of P.G. Wodehouse and of that kind of English. And so he used to say things like, I say this dress is very swanky. And that word swanky, it's like edge and elegance. And I thought, yeah, that's how I feel as I get older. So I chose to call it Swanky.
Oh, nice.
Great. choice of word. And that dress is very swanky, Sindhu. You look fabulous. Well, tickets for Sindhu's UK stand-up tour, Swanky, are available now.